Hi, so my name is Chris, and I play a lot of PLO on Ignition and a couple other smaller sites, but mostly the only mainstream site that I really play on is Ignition and ACR. Anyways, purpose of this is to go through a couple hands. Gonna try to make it quick. I'm gonna use some tools that not everybody has, but I'm assuming that a lot of you, if you watch poker training websites, you're gonna be familiar with Poker Juice, Munker Solver, and Hold'em Manager. So I'm going to be pretty much using those three tools to review my play, see if there's some things I can improve on. Of course there are many things I can improve on. So let's just jump right into it. So this first hand, this is the one I want to go through, and it's going to be just one hand per video, keep things simple and separate. This is not my standard, but I'm trying new things out. Open for 2.5x cutoff, and I get a defend from a maniac in the big blind, and I'm saying maniac not because his hand is a standard defend, but he's 83-22-0. That's VPIP PFR and 3-bet over 24 hands. Defending, defending every big blind so far. So, this guy has a super wide range. And we get check 2 on the flop, and we have a decision of what do we want to do. Now, what I wish I would have done in game is not be lazy and think about what we're trying to accomplish here. And what we want to do is we want to bet 1/3 pot here. And the reason is when we get check raised, it's not going to be this big. And it's going to allow us to peel the check raise and get it in on favorable turns. So when we see bet this big, we set ourselves up for this nightmare scenario, and we're lucky to get it in as a slight favorite. Like, we could just be totally crushed. But aside from the actual hand versus hand matchup, I think just betting 1/3 and playing turns is mostly the way to go. And that's something that's supported by what we're going to see here in Munker. I have two sims here. One of them is 20 big blinds on the left, 50 big blinds on the right, and the rake structures are not exactly like perfect as to what I'm playing on Ignition, but we're going to get pretty good ideas of what our strategy should look like. This is the syntax. I don't know if you can see it right here. This is the syntax that I'm using for this board, because this board is slightly different than our actual hand. So we're working at Jack 5-4, but we can still get the ideas out of it. So what Munker does is cbets 1/3 versus check, and with this hand is going to call. So we have if we run it forward to the decision point here, we're not going to jam it in, we're going to call all the time, and we're going to stack off on favorable turns. And of course we're going to fold flushing turns, probably going to fold to jams on straightening turns that don't hit us. And so to do a little bit more analysis on that point, I pulled up Poker Juice and dropped the hand in here, and of course it's going to give me like the original hand history of what really happened, but I modified it to what I should have done, and that's bet 1/3, and I gave villain a 66% check raise sizing. And what that's going to do is when we call that, so now pot size is 100, we have 94, so basically SPR of 1 going to the turn. And I think that's really nice to do it this way because all the reasons that I mentioned before. Just to check this out, I don't even mind folding actually. If we look at the EV of the peel, and again, this is like really tough to assume. These assumptions are key, like the EV numbers. We could change the assumptions and change this to be a profitable or even more unprofitable peel, but when I ran the peel and stack off module, this is what it spit out. So it's a super marginal peel to begin with, and if we think that like he's not check jamming his wraps, or maybe he's not check jamming like all of these pair plus heart type hands, then that's gonna shift him even more value heavy. So I could get behind a fold here if I had cbet just 1/3. That being said, I think the plan is pretty obvious of what we want to do, and it's just wait for all these good turn cards and get it in. And that's not just like a few turn, that's like, what is it, 60? Yeah, so we're going to be getting it in this often. And I think our visibility is great because we're just going to get it in on bricks. I think even like a queen, I'm kind of curious if we get it in on a queen. Yeah, we're still getting it in on offsuit queens. So I guess we pick up 2 gutters if we do that, so it's not too bad. But interesting to, I don't know if I would really, in game, if I would really get it in on the ace of hearts turn. It feels like we're probably toast. We're coming up with this equity number. Yeah, like I don't think villain is gonna like check raise jack 5 and then jam the ace of hearts turn. So that might be a little too ambitious to just go with, oh, we're gonna stack off on all of these non-grayed out turn cards. We can be a little more selective than that. But you know, anyways, I played the hand kind of shitty. This is what I should have done. 1/3. Take the equity shift on the turn, and that's it.